Okay, so continuing to answer questions 4, 5, 6, and 7. I love, love, love social gatherings because we can identify our leaders in training into four different personality types. Number one is going to be the red personality type, which is going to be very driven, very confident, very, very money motivated, and recognition motivated. Our next personality type amongst our leaders in training is going to be a blue personality type. And that's a person who does enjoy the recognition. They do enjoy making money, but they're more motivated by the social aspect, having fun, laughing, traveling, the fun side and the people part of the business is why they're involved. The next personality type amongst leaders in trainings is going to be a yellow personality type, and their key word is help. They are truly motivated by the global mission of the company because it's their same internal drive, which is to help people become healthier and make more money, to help people. That's our yellow personality type, our Florence Nightingale, so to speak. Then we're going to have the green personality type amongst the leaders in trainings, and those are going to be the more analytical, the more data-driven leaders in training, people who are more introverted, your engineering and librarian types, which love and are fascinated with systems and data and information. Now, you may have certain leaders in training, and I use that term instead of using the term followers. You may have certain leaders in training who have slight combinations of the different colors, but normally there's one, possibly two colors that predominate. So that's going to dictate a lot of how many of them use the open door policy that they have with me. How many people attend the social gatherings? Our social gatherings are going to be predominated and majority, because everything is volunteer here, attended by your red personality types, because we do recognition at the social gatherings. A lot of people are at the social gatherings, so the blue personality types show up, and the yellow personality types show up as well. Green, not so much. With the open door policy, I get a lot more interaction with our green personality type leaders in training because they like the one-on-one, they like the data and information, not so much the big open space meetings, but they like the open door policy because they can get the information they need to achieve their goals. And the green personality types who do attend the quarterly social events, which is a really, really big deal with our company, they're there typically for the new information, new product launches, new systems and trainings that are rolled out at these events intentionally. We provide new training and information there. So that's how we handle open door policies and things like that. As far as problem solving orientation, that's an ongoing process, and I love it because we have systems in place for the majority of things that could go wrong within a virtual franchise. And the corporate side of it takes care of a lot of that. It's simply my job as the VP of Field Development to make sure that leaders in training and virtual franchisees know how to access the systems in place on the corporate side to resolve conflict and fix problems. And most of that I learned the hard way by making all the mistakes. So a great part about being a leader and having people who want to be leaders and who are leaders in training is to be able to lead by example. Lead from the front. You can pull spaghetti, you can't push it, right? And so that's really what we like to do, is lead from the front and then empower our leaders in training to have access to all the systems and personal training and development and problem solving mechanisms and systems that are already in place way before they got there, because it's going to make their transition from, nervous new business owner to somewhat competent business owner to full-fledged leader who is, generating a lot of volume, generating a lot of sales, servicing a lot of customers, and helping other virtual franchisees and leaders in training come on board. So that's the very, very powerful part about problem solving orientation. And as far as inspiration, it's all about leading from the front. Leaders show people what can be done because we actively do it. And you have two types of leaders that I find in this particular industry. And again, it's a $200 billion annual industry, so it's very competitive. We have leaders who are leaders we call them travel agents, because they might not have been there and done that, but they might have a title and maybe can tell you some stuff about being a leader, but they've never physically done it. And then you have leaders who are tour guides who have been there, done that, will be in the trenches with you, holding your hand as long as you want your hand held, every step of the way to help you succeed and become a leader and a profitable, successful business owner in your own right. I always prefer to be the tour guide leader, not the travel agent leader, because there's just so much respect and more impact that comes when you're inspiring people from personal experience and what you're currently doing versus fairy tales and stories, and you're teaching things that you've never done. That's actually a relatively big issue in our industry because leaders are paid so much money. You have people trying to shortcut the process, and quite honestly, it never works. It's never a successful formula, but that doesn't stop people from trying it. So we have the inspiration, leading people from the front. We have systems in place to handle 80 to 90% of any problems that could ever come up. We already have systems in place to handle that. I'm very, very excited about that. And then as far as the reward and punishment system, again, not a lot of punishment there, but if I have someone who's uncoachable, if I have someone who's causing some problems for the organization or is making more trouble than they're worth as far as helping them get to the goals that they told me they wanted, I typically disconnect myself from people like that. And because mentorship is so important in this industry, if you have a leader who's a trainer in this highly competitive $200 billion industry, and that leader removes themselves from your life and you're left up to yourself to figure these things out, your failure rate skyrockets. Your failure rate skyrockets, okay? So the punishment, if there is such a thing, would be me not going the extra mile for that particular individual to put them in the category of the 80% of the people who really don't have that deep burning desire to succeed, and to spend more time with the 20% of people who are successful. So that's the only punishment is, just not being accessible, to be quite honest with you, and not having an open door policy. And that can be pretty painful for a business owner because we want to succeed and we need all the information and help we can get in this really competitive industry. As far as rewards, they're limitless, honestly. The financial rewards, the personal development rewards, the personal relationships that we have with people, the corporate rewards and incentives that number to thousands and thousands of dollars a month for just achieving certain things in business that you should be doing anyway. The rewards are to the moon, but I find that the monetary incentives and the recognition incentives on social media and even at the corporate events, the quarterly events, recognition and monetary events are by far going to be the most powerful drivers for success. But that's going to be people who are typically the red personality types and occasionally the blues that always take advantage. So you're going to see the same group of people typically win all the incentives and awards, even if they aren't necessarily the best business builders or team leaders at that time. Their competitive nature will monopolize and dominate the reward field. I've seen it happen. It's human nature. It is what it is. Some people are hardwired for competition. Some are not. But that does not disqualify them from being successful business owners, nor does it guarantee the success of the competitive-driven person. It doesn't guarantee their success either. So it goes way, way beyond that. Leadership development does.